positive. So I like to stay positive, see the bright side of things. The moms have to be involved and you know your progress, your child's progress. Teaching is not about one way. The most important thing is their enjoyment in learning things.
May I know what motto you actually go by in your life?
Do the things today that your future self will thank you for.
How do you manage your time for spending time with your families, your children, and working?
I'm very lucky because I always try to involve them into my work. So I know a lot of people try to separate work and the family time, but I'm very lucky I can combine them.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to SMLTALK Youth 2022. With this year's theme, Let's Break the Limits, is also a way for us SML1 trainees to celebrate Hari Anak Nasional 2022. With me, Clarissa Nabelyu, as one of the trainees in SML1 and also as Putri Batik Cili Indonesia Sumatera Utara 2022, I will be interviewing a beautiful young lady who is known as an influencer and a young mom. With today's topic, how parents should educate current generations. So, let us welcome Miss Regina.
Thank you. Hi everybody, I'm Regina. So today I'm very honored to be invited here and to be
Yes.
interviewed by Clarice.
Thank you.
And congrats to her for winning Putri Batik Cilik ya.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. And also thank you for coming here. Although you are very busy and you still make your time here, so thank you. We really appreciate that.
No worries.
Okay.
I'm glad to be here.
So, how are you today, Miss Regina?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very positive. And I'm just happy to be able to share with everyone who's watching about my point of view on parenting.
Okay. So, let us begin, okay?
Sure.
So, if Miss Regina can describe yourself in 3 words, what will it be?
3 words. Okay, I'm first. I think I'm a simple person. So simple. I love everything simple. I don't like complicated things. So second, balance. So I like to live a balanced life. So I want to spend time with my family, my kids, my husband. I want balance in my life, like going to the gym, also so balance my relationship, my love life, my healthy lifestyle, my kids. So balance and positive. So I like to stay positive, see the bright side of things.
Okay. So, in this pandemic, kids have online learning, although now most of them has already started offline school, but I think mostly still online. And what is Miss Regina's perspective, thoughts on this online learning?
Actually, online learning, yeah, I feel like there's a good thing out of it because why? The moms have to be involved and you know your progress, your child's progress, because you're there. You are the one who take care of the kids and teach the kids, right? So and you will learn to appreciate the teachers, like how hard it is to teach the kids. So now, but I really think that because I love to teach children. So maybe that's another thing. So I learned to understand Rhea and how is the best way for her to absorb the lessons. The same thing with Naya, but even though they are both my child, but they have a very different way of learning things. And from there, I learned about them, and then learn their character juga, and also um, realize just how different they are. But both are very amazing kids.
Okay, so do Miss Regina has any tips for kids to absorb learning better?
For me, each kids are different. They are unique. Even though your siblings, you have different way of learning things. As I say, teachers itu ibaratnya kayak I would say like a USB, the cable, charger
Mhm.
cable. So the kids can be Samsung, can be iPhone. You don't know kayak which one yang paling bisa cocok
Mhm.
gitu for teaching them. But as a parent, you're like a multifunction cable. You're supposed to know your kids the paling you're supposed to know your kids the best. So with these kids, this is how I should teach them. Like Naya, she likes movement. So I like to teach her things by playing games. She likes that. If Rhea can sit down properly and study, and the best thing to teach her is uh, explain to her slowly and provide a lot of examples to her. So for me, I think we as parents need to know which one is which type your kids are, so you know which way is the best way to teach them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's actually a very good answer. Okay, so when parents teaches kids, sometimes kids can make mistakes, especially young kids, and then sometimes the parents just like cannot handle it, and then they get angry. So, are there any tips from Miss Regina, like how to control the anger or how to like make up for it?
If you ask me, we need to see the intentions of the kids. They it's not that they trying to frustrate you.
Mm.
They themselves don't understand. So we need to see things from their point of view. I remember I heard Rhea telling me, "Mommy, I don't understand." So even though we force her the same way, it's not gonna work. So we need to find a different approach on how she can understand it. So mommies have to be creative, I think. So we need to be creative in teaching them, and it's not really teaching is not about one way. I feel like teaching is all about two ways communication. So they can tell you what they think of the things, because in everything we see, there are two point of view. Sometimes they see it. We can see the same exact thing, but we can have different point of view. Like we're looking at a coin,
Mhm.
you see it from that way, it's a different angle. I see it from here, it's a different angle, right? So we just need to understand what they mean, what they don't understand, and start from there. I think in order to not feel frustrated, the mom itself has to be in a calm state. So don't expect, don't put too much expectation, and just enjoy the process of learning. They don't have to learn like today the school teach A to 1 to 10. And if your kids can only learn 1 to 3, but as long as he enjoys it, I think that's enough. So we don't have to force them you have to know 1 to 10. No, I don't think that's the way to teach children. So for me, the most important thing is their enjoyment in learning things. If they lose that enjoyment
Mhm.
thing, I mean, if they don't enjoy it, then it will be hard in the future for us to like ask them to study. They will feel like, study, not again, right? I don't want my kids to have that. I want them to feel like, oh, study, I can get to learn new things. I get to explore different things, experience different things. I want them to have that reaction when I ask them to study, not like study. Yeah, that's my point of view.
Yeah, I really like how Miss Regina has a very wise and very wise and good perspective in seeing things.
Yeah.
So, may I know what motto you actually go by in your life?
The motto I go by in my life, the one that I have been saying to myself ever since
Mhm.
my uni life is do the things today that your future self will thank you for. So, and it really helped me in avoiding a lot of bad decisions. And also, I want my kids to see me, and I want my kids to grow up and say, I want to be like my mom. So I always strive to be that person. Yeah, that's my motto.
Okay. That is actually a very amazing motto that I'm sure lots of parents or even children can learn. And uh, that's about your mom life.
Mhm.
And man about Miss Regina's influencer life.
Okay.
So, as a kid, was it Miss Regina's dream to grow up become an influencer, or is there any other dream?
Okay. When I was very little, my dream was very simple. I love puzzles. So my dream was to have a puzzle store. And if someone buy puzzle and then they just want me to, for example, they don't want to piece it together, I'll be the one who piece it together for them. So that's just a very simple dream. And then I think my big dream is I have it when I was in uni. Is I want to build an or in a high standard school and dormitory. So the school already have the dorms inside, like Harry Potter movie, but for orphans.
Oh.
Why orphans? Because I feel like they don't have anyone else in this world. And actually, there are a lot of orphans, a lot of kids that unable to go to school, but they actually really want to, and they have the potential to be great. So I really wish that can happen. And I think I will start from opening a preschool first, and hopefully it can happen sometime soon.
Okay. So good luck to that.
Thank you.
And then, so what motivates Miss Regina to be an influencer?
Actually, first it all happens all of a sudden. It's not like planned. It wasn't planned. So I started sharing story about my relationship with my husband, how I met him in the elevator, and how we get together after we broke up for 5 years, and that interests people. So and they started to ask me about relationship point of view, my advice, especially on having two different religion because I'm Buddhist and he's Catholic. So there's a lot of questions about that too, and how we raise the kids. And then Rhea was born, and she's such an adorable kid, and everyone wants me to share my parenthood journey. So from there, I started sharing, and I feel very happy when I hear positive feedback from them, like my advice and my story actually make their days, and also they feel like uh, it brings them joy and happiness seeing Rhea and seeing my family, and I think it really motivates me to share even more.
Okay, so is there any other jobs that Miss Regina have aside from being an influencer?
I have my dad's business, but I don't really. I'm lucky that I don't really have to like do full time on it, so I can still monitor it on the sideline. But my most important job right now is to be a mom for my two small children. That's my priority. So I really prioritize spending time with them because their first five, I would say their first 5 years is a very important milestone. I don't want to feel like I'm not there. So for now, yes, I do have some business. Like we have F&B industry, F&B business like Momaro, and then Kulo, Siboba, and apart from that, we also have uh, smart home business. My husband do smart home industry, so we do all like Google stuff. If you know, like we can say, "Hey Google, turn on the lights," and then they will turn on for us, and all these smart home things. But my main focus is still being a mom to my kids.
Okay, so I'm really curious, and I'm sure that lots of parents out there are also really curious. How do you manage your time for um, spending time with your families, your children, and working?
For me, I I'm very lucky because I always try to involve them into my work. So I know a lot of people try to separate work and the family time, but I'm very lucky I can combine them. For example, I'm having a collaboration with a designer,
Mhm.
a clothes designer, fashion designer. And yesterday, Rhea followed me to the textile store, and she helped me choose the textile of what we should use, what we should choose to make the dress. So I get to do my work, and she get to learn. She get to learn to how's the process of making a dress, and I'm very lucky that I'm able to do that because I think I'm a family I'm an influencer in relation to family, being a wife, being a mom, and they are just a part of it too.
Okay.
So making content with them, so it's very fun. Yeah, I'm lucky I get to do that.
Yeah, that's actually really good idea to combine family time and work time.
Yes.
We just need to find a way to actually how to combine it.
Yes.
So when your child grows up, what does Miss Regina want them to be, or do you want them to just follow their heart, or maybe any ideas?
Okay, actually, yeah, I want them to follow their hearts. What we as parents can do is just provide the foundation, but we need to provide a very strong foundation, like a happy home, a home filled with love and laughter, and I want them to be able to enjoy living. A lot of people, they grow up. Sometimes they feel like, "Oh, my life is so how to say, so hard. My life is so." I don't want them to have that. I want them to love their life, love being alive, and enjoy everything they do. So that's more of the goal I want them to be a happy person, healthy, because you need to be health conscious, and you don't want to stay down. Like so, yeah, my most important thing is they grow up happy and healthy.
Okay, so lots of kids out there, well, they dream big. They dream big, but at every person, at some point of life, there's a moment where we will feel like giving up, where things get hard. We just feel like giving up.
Yeah.
Does Miss Regina have any ideas? I mean, any thoughts, or maybe want to share anything on how we should not give up and rise back up? Like what motivates us to?
For me, we need to have the right attitude, okay, and positive mindset. This right attitude and positive mindset, because life, we cannot prepare our children, we cannot prepare everyone to fake like for everything that's gonna happen. We don't know. We don't know when it's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen. We cannot just prepare for everything, right? But what we need to prepare the kids ourselves is that we have a positive mindset. That means keep thinking positive, that everything will be better. It's just a phase. It's just a phase in life. I've seen a lot of people in my age. I've seen a lot of people who have gone bankrupt. I've seen a lot of people who went to jail, who has their life at the very bottom, at the bottom part of their life. But it's all a phase. I mean, it will get better. Because when you're already at the bottom, you cannot go even lower than that, right? So it will. You need to look positive. You need to think positive that everything's gonna be better. And I've seen all of them all climb up and become a better person now. The one that bankrupt already have a better business now, even though he failed on his previous business very bad. And then the one that went to jail, he come out a better person, and with a better mindset on what she needs to do with her life. So I think what we need is a positive mindset that things gonna get better, and also the right attitude. Right attitude also means that we need to be a trustworthy person. We need to show people that we have changed. Right, the right attitude. If people see that, there will be people who will give you chance. And from there on, you don't let yourself down and don't let people down, and you're gonna climb and you climb even higher than before.
Okay, I really like that advice. So this one is from me, from my own experience actually. There was once where I suddenly have this feeling of being judged by someone. Like wherever I go, I feel like people are judging me. But I somehow get over that when I do lots of activities, outdoor activities. I got over that. But however, sometimes when we go out, like we just feel like people is talking bad about us. So do you have any advice on that, Miss Regina?
We cannot stop people from talking, either bad or we cannot stop people from talking. Okay, they want to talk bad things, they want to talk good things, yeah, hopefully they talk good things, right? There's a story actually. It's about a father and a child and a horse. So they went to the first town, and the father was riding the horse, and the child was walking. And then all the people in town say, "Wow, this father is very don't love the children. Why he's the one who is on the horse while the children is walking? So tired, so poor thing, the child." And then they switch. So the kids is on the horse and the father is walking. They went to the second town. Then the people on the second town say, "Wow, this kid is so don't love the father because he let the father walk while he get to sit on the horse." See? And then they changed again. So this time nobody sit on the horse. Okay, they went to the third town. And the third town people say, "Wow, these two father and son very stupid. They have a horse, yet nobody sit on the horse." You see, we cannot please people. They can have a lot of versions of, but they don't know what's happening in our life. They just see from the outside. Let them talk. For me, it's what we believe ourselves. We are doing good. We are a good person. That's all we need to know. We don't need to care about what they think about us. It's what we think about ourselves. If we think we are doing good, then we don't have to worry what they say. But if we are not doing good, then we are afraid of what the people are gonna say about us, right? If we are doing good things, if we are being who we are, if we have the right attitude, we don't need to know what they say about us, because eventually the truth will come out, and people will see what you are for who you are. That's what I think.
That is I think it's really effective for me and also for lots of kids out there and even parents, basically everyone. Yeah, it's really effective.
Yeah.
So how does Miss Regina when how do you control when kids are throwing a tantrum?
Okay, there's a lot of people ask me that question. And my kids are at that age where they throw tantrums. But the strategy is to, okay, when things are calm, when they are not throwing tantrum, you need to teach them how to be calm when they do when they are feeling upset. So we already prepare them for when they throw tantrum, they already know what to do. Because when they are throwing tantrum, you cannot talk any sense into them, right? They'll just they're never gonna hear what you say. So when the times are calm, when they are not throwing tantrum, what I always say to Rhea is that, Rhea, if you ever feeling upset, what do you need to do? Okay, when you feel upset, you cannot throw things. You cannot hurt people, like hitting people. You cannot scream, like you cannot actually. First, you cannot hurt people. Second, you cannot throw things. And those two things, when he is feeling in that moment in time when he throw tantrum, actually udah ada already in her mindset that these are the things that I cannot do. But during that time, if she's throwing tantrum, just stay there. Don't be ignorant, like just play my phone. Let her. Don't do that. I just stay there, sit with her until she comes up. It will take 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, but you need to be there as a mom just to like show I'm here. When you are settled, when your feelings are better, like not that emotional anymore, I'm here. You can give me a hug. I can give you a hug. I can come. We can talk this again. But during that time, just be there. Just show that you're there. For me, that's how it works. And I always teach them breathing every night. So before we sleep, we do breathing time. So there are 3 routines that I do every night. So first, breathing exercise. So before we sleep, we do. So we are calm, right? And they learn to do that. So they have the self-control when they are having a tantrum. They automatically do that because we already practice every night. Second, heart-to-heart talk. So I always talk to them about what happened during the day. So if, for example, Rhea throw things, for example. So at night time before we sleep, I'm gonna say, Rhea, why did you throw that things before? What happened? Okay, and then she will say what happened. And then we will try to understand her story, why, and then we gonna then tell her that you're not supposed to do that because it might hit people, it might hurt people, and also the things can get broken. We put all the explanation and the understanding when we are calm. And then she will understand and say, okay, sorry, mommy, I'm not going to do that again. Okay, so, but another thing that we always need to tell them also is when they're doing good things, not just all the bad things. Oh, Rhea, today you give Kung water. You prepare water for Kung. That's very good. You're very caring. Oh, today you give Naya your toys. When you share your toys with her, that's very good. So not just saying all the. So at night time, the heart-to-heart talk is where we instill everything, the good, and then also try to fix the bad. Yeah, like that. The third routine is giving a good night hugs and kiss. So before they sleep, we always end the night with the hugs and kiss. Why? Because we as moms have time when we look out of control. Like we just gonna scream, Rhea, why you do that? Or maybe the dad we might have screamed at them, but at the end of the day, before they sleep, we want them to know that we love them no matter what. Despite all the screams from before, we are there and we love them. Although they make mistakes, although we are angry, we still love them. So that's a very important point there, why we give a good night hug and kiss. We don't want to end the day. I don't want them to sleep knowing that I made a mistake. I made my mom sad. I made my mom angry, and my mom don't love me. I don't want that. So we need to let them know that they are loved no matter what.
Wow, that is amazing. As one of the oldest child, and I also have 2 other siblings. And for children, people out there who also have siblings, I'm sure sometimes they can feel like, mommy love them more than me. Because I actually feel that too. And then sometimes my siblings feel that as well.
Yeah.
And does Miss Regina's child ever have that feeling, and how do you control it?
Me and my husband, we have said it from the very first that we are going to be fair. Okay, but fair can mean a lot of things. Okay, if I have 2 things, for example, I have 2 candies. Fair means that I'm giving one for you and one for your siblings, right? But fair doesn't always mean the same amount of things. For example, I have these 2 candies. Actually, Rhea appreciates candies more than Naya. Will Naya feel fair if I give one and one? No, not really, because he feels like, I don't like candy. Why you give me candy? I like chocolate. So being fair as parents, we need to know that it's not always like you get something, she gets something. But it's more towards what they need, what they actually want. for Rhea, for Naya, we'll feel like Rhea can get both candies. I don't want any candies. Just give me one chocolate and I will feel fair already. You see what I mean? So us as parents, we need to know what the children want and how the children feel. We try to we are trying to give them love without the others feeling jealous. So we have to mind our words and also our actions. It is hard. I mean, sometimes we can tend to be overexcited over something that one of the child do. For example, Rhea wish me happy birthday first. So somehow I was like, wow, thanks Rhea, you say happy birthday to me first. Oh, right. But at that point in time, I was so excited. I didn't realize what my other child would have felt, right? Because you feel like, even if I say it now, it won't feel as special anymore because my sister already did it, right? We need to understand our kids and what makes them. If you ever felt that they feel that way, then we need to talk about it. I'm not the type of parents who will just like, okay, just let it be. No, I will talk to Naya and maybe I will compliment her on other things so she feel like, oh, I'm something too in the eyes of my mom and my dad, because both kids definitely are different. So you need to not compare them, but complement them in their own strength. Yeah, that's what I think.
Wow, how does Miss Regina learn all of these amazing tips as a young mom?
Uh, all this process are by through learning, yeah, through and also I have this friend of mine. He's a childhood educator, early childhood educator. Her name is Miss Novita. I think Miss Lisa also ever interviewed her before. So we get to talk, we get to chat a lot, and also being friend with a like-minded parents. Because I have my experience and they have their experience and we share. And from there, then we know, like we learn more. So I like to chat with other moms and other moms and even other dads. Sometimes the dads also want to know. It's impressive, not just moms nowadays that want to teach their children, but the dads also want to be involved. So we chat and then I learn from the experience of what they have gone through and they learn from mine. So we share it and that's how we learn. And also by experiencing it directly with Rhea and Naya. Yeah. And also, sorry, one more thing. And also experiencing with our own, like you feel like sometimes you can get jealous with your sibling, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want that for your kids, right?
No.
So that's how I ever feel that I don't want that to happen to me. That's why we change. Oh, my father did that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do it a different way. Yeah, like that.
Okay. So as parents, like sometimes when we have a problem, I don't really know much about this, but sometimes when I ask my mom about it, my mom will say, "Ayo, this is adult talk. You children don't need to know." But sometimes it makes us so curious. And any advice from Miss Regina, like how should we tell the kids, or maybe like how should we keep a secret?
I'm not a secretive person. If me, I'm very open, and I would like to control what my kids know rather than they find out themselves in a whole different way. Rather than them, for me, rather than them finding out curious and have the wrong information, I prefer them to ask me and I tell them what is actually happening. So as parents, we just need to filter the details. So maybe they don't need to know how much details, but they need to know what is happening. Because if they don't know because kids are smart, you guys know actually what is happening. It's just that you want to know more and you got blocked. But I feel like my parents ever not wanting me to know things, but actually we hear what you say. We hear sometimes even if you fight, we know. So rather than they have their own assumptions, I rather we tell them what is happening. For example, it just happened a few days ago actually. So I was talking about traveling to my husband. I need to travel to Singapore, and then my husband was quite tired. He doesn't want to go travel anymore. Okay, so he's like, okay, if you want to go, you go, but leave the kids with me. But what Rhea here is, mommy is leaving, and we are like in her mind is like mommy and daddy are separating, and I'm leaving. I'm like my husband asked me to go out from the house. You like the drama. So I need to set that straight. I said, no, actually, daddy is asking because I need to go to see my grandpa in Singapore, Chokong, right? So, and you have school, that's why daddy asked you and Nana to not go and stay with him. He will take care of you. But I'm just going for a few days and I'm coming back. So, I'm never going to leave you. So, because they can have a different assumption over what we say, right? Yeah. So, I'm not gonna say that's adult talk. No, I'm gonna set it straight to them what is happening. Yeah, so they don't have misunderstanding. Yeah, so I think parents should do that too. I believe that's the best way.
And does Miss Regina help children ever like wants you when you are going out for a trip or when you are not at home? Because when I was younger, my mom went for a trip and then I couldn't stop. Like, every night I will use my dad's phone to call my mom.
Of course, of course they'll do that. But nowadays, especially we have video call, and somehow I feel happy that they need me. Rather than if your kids don't miss you at all, you will feel right? But if they call you and they say they miss you, all moms, all dads will feel happy if they hear that. We want to be missed, right? But I think we just need to. Oh, what I always do is I always prepare them. So I'm not just gonna suddenly poof on. So if I'm going to Singapore next week, from today I will already tell them, mommy is going to Singapore soon. Okay, I'm going to pack. I'm going for 5 sleeps. So when you sleep 5 times already, you're gonna see me. Yeah. So I prepare them. So at first it's no, don't go, don't go, don't go. But when you tell them the next day and the next day and the next day, they know it's happening and they know there's nothing they can do, but they will be fine. We need to make sure that they are prepared. So kids actually need preparation. So you just don't tell them last minute, okay, I'm leaving, bye. Then they will be like, what? Panic and all. So you need to. I like to prepare them sometimes before bed. Yeah. Oh, tomorrow you have school. Okay. Oh, like Rhea is moving to a new uh, school, and then I will start to prepare them. Oh, you're moving to a new school. Okay, don't be surprised and stuff like that. So when I'm gone, of course I know they're gonna miss me, but at least I already prepare them for what's gonna happen.
So, does Miss Regina have any advice at kids that, yeah, because I'm sure lots of kids, almost all of them actually ever feel like, "Oh, I don't want to study, I want to watch TV, or maybe when eating lunch, like, no, I want to watch YouTube instead."
Of course, of course. Even now, I think I have problem with that. Okay, study not so much. Okay, I think Rhea enjoys studies, so I'm glad that one works out. YouTube, yes. I'm not against gadget. I'm a parent that not against gadget. So long as we control what is being watched. Gadget is good. Gadget is a good thing. You don't want to your kids to grow up not knowing gadget at all because this is a world full of gadget nowadays. Everywhere at home we have Google. Everywhere is gadgets, and everything you want to know about the world, it's there. So I'm not against gadget. It's just that we need the time to sit and watch with them. For example, like I like them to watch Netflix Kids. There's a title called Storybots. That is a very good show because it teaches children how virus get inside our body. It teaches children what is reuse, recycle, the recycle sign. What is that? How our eyes see, how our ears actually hear. That is a very good show. But if you let them watch by themselves, they're not gonna watch it. After 5 minutes, they're just gonna change the movie because they don't understand what it is, right? So they need a parent who can sit with them and explain to them what is actually happening. Then it will make them feel interesting. Oh, and I think that show is actually not just interesting for the kids, but also for us because all this time we never know how our eyes can see. We just know they can see. It is used for seeing, but how our lights get into our eyes and we can see things, and then how the sound get into our ears and we can hear that. Those are very interesting facts. So I think what we need to tell our kids is just that there are times like when they have to eat, then you have to eat. When there's a study time, then you have to study. I'm not saying that you cannot have gadget at all. It's just that there's a time for it. Yeah. So routine have a routine because you already know. Oh, on Monday at 1 o'clock I have to go to tuition, right? I have to go to SML. So they know that they have responsibilities they need to do, and when they do it, they can have it. So it's a exchange. I think kids will learn that. What do you think is a good idea?
I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I want to watch TVs, especially YouTube, sometimes I can like run out of things for me to watch. But then when my parents watch something, even though it is something that I previously saw on the YouTube recommendations, I didn't want to watch it. But when my parents watch it and then I went past, I was like, ooh, that looks fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we learn. Even Rhea and Naya. Sometimes Rhea is watching and then Naya watch other things. You will go, oh, this one looks more interesting. Same thing. So you get to see more things by using gadgets. So I'm not against it. It's just that monitor what the kids watch.
Okay, so sometimes kids, especially my little brother, for example, boys, I think they like to watch about gaming stuff. But sometimes what my little brother watch is like it's violent, like about gaming, like punching. But he didn't actually like, how should I say, he didn't actually realize that that is bad. He knows that that is bad, but he doesn't actually know how it actually affects himself. Is there any advice for kids, especially boys, who likes to watch games but it is actually violent?
Yeah, actually, I feel like a lot of content nowadays games are quite not child appropriate. Yeah. What as parents that we can do is definitely try to limit that. Okay. But if we cannot, like if they're already watching it, then I think we need to explain. If it's a game, then we need to explain it's a game. It's not real. Nobody get hurt during that thing happening. They need to know that, and you cannot do that things to people. So this needs a one-on-one talk to the boys. So far, my kids haven't reached that stage, and luckily both girls not watching that. But if I have a boy and they start watching things like that, especially from friends at school, from games, then I will try to make them understand games are games and what they can do and cannot do on real world. Definitely being kind. Don't hurt people. I think that's the basic that they have to engrave inside their mind and their heart. Don't hurt people. Yeah.
Sometimes I think kids, they're, especially the one who is young, I think they're mind is like very pure.
Yeah.
And sometimes when my little brother like sees a fly, he like catch it. And my mom sometimes like to joke, if you kill a fly, later when you die in your next life, you will become a fly. And then there was once when my little brother take out his old dolls and put it all at the side of the bed. And then my mom wants to sleep like, "Ih, so sempit, right?" So she throw it down right on the corner. She throws it, and then my little brother, "Eh, you throw dolls later when you die, you born and you turn into a doll, and I will throw you away." Because sometimes I actually like to tell them that sometimes my little brother when he sees movies, he thinks that like being rough, rude to a cat is actually like cool like that. And sometimes he actually like wants to actually try to use his feet to push the cat. And then although I don't have stray cats, yes, but when I see it, I say like, don't do that because sometimes cats also have feelings. Yeah. And then maybe you will when you how will you feel if you are a cat and people do that to you? And then yeah, I think that's how he say about the doll thing. Yeah.
I think that's very true. I always say that to Rhea. Rhea is a very animal lover. So we try to tell her what would you feel if it's you, if you are the one who get pushed or so she will feel like I don't want that. So if you don't want that, then you don't do that to others. Yeah, I think parents have to instill that on their child. Yeah, you're a good sister. I see how you tell your brother things. You're a very good role model.
Although we sometimes fight.
That's normal. I think siblings fight. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. It's definitely, but after the fight, it actually bonds you guys together. Why? Because now you know what he doesn't like. What now he knows what he doesn't like. So you understand each other, right? So oh, if I do that, my sister got very angry. Oh, so I know. So next time I'm not going to do that. So we are all actually siblings are all testing our limit together. So oh, I know what if I do this, my brother's gonna be angry, but my sister is okay. So you growing up with each other in the same house, you gotta learn how to interact with each other, how to the relationship with each other. And I think fighting is okay as long as you know that they are still your brothers and you do it, you still love them no matter what. It's like same like the parents to the children. Even though they're angry at you, actually they're inside their heart they still love you. Yeah. And when you grow up, I'm very close to my brother and sister and I'm very happy we are very close. So I would love to have for everybody to have that too, not fighting over some petty things and then just go your own separate ways. I think we are brothers for a reason. We are siblings for a reason. And you're gonna be happy that you have them on your side. Yeah. And as a big sister like me and you, we are kind of like the bridge because somehow the first child are usually the most understanding. So most likely your brother and your sister would fight more than you. I don't know. That's for me. Yeah. For me, my brother and sister fight more than with me. So I have to always be the middle person for them. Yeah.
And when kids want something, but parents are against that thing, like let's say, I want this toy car, but the toy car is like very expensive, and there's a much cheaper one, but the kid doesn't want it. And what is Miss Regina's thought on how to persuade the kid and how the parents should behave in that?
I think we need to understand why he wants that particular toy car. Maybe I would, let's say this is a remote control toy car. Okay, the other one is also a remote control toy car. Then I will explain to him that it has the same function. Or we'll try to figure out first why he wants a particular car. Is it the color, or is it the functions, or is this just bigger, or what? So from there, then we negotiate with him. Definitely, there's negotiation going on. Why he doesn't want this one? Okay, if you want this one, then maybe you need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice other things. For example, you want this toy car. Okay, then maybe you don't get a birthday cake. Let's say, that means the money for the birthday cake will go to this car. You get what I mean? So you need to decide. If you already decide, then you have to live with your decision. Yeah. So, or else, for example, we can set a goal. Okay, you want this toy car? Yes, but you need to be able to, for example, do homework by yourself without me telling you to. Okay, if you can do that for 1 month without me telling you, then there's a reward I can buy you this toy car. Yeah, there's a negotiation going on there. So you just, as parents, you just have to be smart in negotiating the things. Yeah, like that. So that's my strategy. What do you think? Do you like that? The strategy?
I think the strategy is wise, and I think it is also really effective. But I'm actually curious, like what if there's like two things, and then let's say a chocolate and a toy car. I want the chocolate, but then my dad will say, if you want the chocolate, no toy car. So I get the chocolate. I choose the chocolate. I eat it. I finish it. But I want the toy car. Yeah, and does Miss Regina think that a parent should go like hard on them? No, you took the chocolate, no more toy car, or should we tolerate them? Okay, for this one, may
If my husband is the strict type, okay, so for me, depends. If I'm sometimes considered quite soft on my kids. But it really depends. Like Rhea, for example, when we choose chocolate and toy car, I will already tell her that if you eat the chocolate, it will finish and there's no more. Okay. So you cannot get the toy car anymore. But if the toy car, you can bring it home, you can still play it, and it's not gonna go away. So you really want to choose the chocolate? I will give that consequences. I will tell her the consequences first. If she say yes, I want the chocolate, then okay, at least I already tell you that you're not gonna have anything after that. Yeah. So I will try as much to stick onto that because they need to know consequences. They need to know that you already make up a decision. You stand by it. Yeah.
And I'm sure there are lots of bad examples out there, and even the closest example, like our parents, sometimes they can have a bad example. Like sometimes parents don't realize they're actually watching phone while eating, and then the kids like copy, and then like, why you can do that and I cannot? Yeah.
Exactly. That's why the mom and the dad has to have a house rules. What is a house rule? I think that's a house rule. And the house rule doesn't apply only for children. The house rule applies for everyone living in that house. So if you put that on the house rule, everybody has to follow it. So maybe as parents, we need to be aware as well of what we're doing. And if we really don't want our kids to do it, then we don't do it. Yeah. So set the house rule right.
And is there any message from Miss Regina to the audience that are watching this podcast, like parenting tips, or maybe how you should feed your child properly?
So I think, okay, for advice, I think most important thing is to enjoy being a parent. This journey is like in the blink of the eye, your child will grow up so fast. And I cannot even tell you that I was so surprised that wow, now Ray is already 4 years old. I can still remember the day she was born. It will go by in a flash. So really enjoy the journey and not get too frustrated over being perfect mom. I think a lot of people they try to be a perfect mom, which for me, if you can do it, that's good. But if you cannot, then don't try to be perfect, but then you feel miserable. Yeah. Be the best version of yourself, but it still makes you happy and still make your kids feel happy. Because what's the point of having a perfect but miserable mom and your kids just watching it like, why my mom is like that, right? So kids are watching us, so show them how happy her mom is, because what they are trying to do, if you realize it, they are just every day they're just trying to make you feel happy and make you laugh. Like if they do something and you laugh, they definitely do it again and again. Why? The reason is simple. They want their mom to smile and be happy. So be a mom that your child will fall in love with. Yeah, like really, I love my mom.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching this podcast. And especially, thank you, Miss Regina, for coming all the way here to join this podcast with me, Clarice, as the host for today's podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, let's break the limits. And I, as Clarice Annabelle, the host of today's podcast, wants to say Selamat Hari Anak Nasional 2022. Happy Children's Day. Thank you and see you.